Well, we knew with them coming in, they were second in our conference in defense. They got great lateral speed, and they're able to cut some of our passing lanes down better than some of the other teams that we play. And if you look at all their young ladies, they're strong in their shoulders. They got good speed. They rebound the basketball. They're the only team in our conference. Now, this is conference stats. They got 5 players in the top 20 rebounders in our conference. And they're second in the conference in defense. And they're like 30th in the nation, ain't they, or 20th something in the nation in defense. So we knew coming in that they were going to bring a good defensive game plan, and they were going to get on the boards, and we knew we had to shoot the ball. But when we shot threes, they were able to get it and had runouts. And so I hadn't looked at that yet to see where we're at, but they had 12 to 8. And, that was just where they went in and laid it up, just went by us. So, Rick's a great coach. I'm telling you, I've known him a long time. I've known him for, good gracious, 30 years, I guess. And I played against him when he was in the Sun Belt Conference. And he's a good coach. Does a good job. Had his team prepared. My hat's off to him. I'm real proud of our young ladies. They did what we had to do. And, if you look defensively, they had 5 points in the third quarter, 6 in the fourth. So that tells you right there we got down in our hips and we played defense and we rebounded the ball. What was the rebounds? 36 to 29. So we out-rebounded.
Coach, it seemed like in the third quarter y'all were able to get Anastasia the ball in the post a little bit better than y'all were able to in the second. What adjustment did y'all make at halftime to get her the ball?
Well, we just got in some of our sets where it isolated her in there. And they were going to have to give help off for our threes, and they wasn't going to do that. They wasn't going to come off Jalen Gregory. They wasn't coming off of Savannah Wheeler. They wasn't coming off of Tamia. And when they did, a couple of times they did, we made them pay. Courtney, one time there, I think they came off of her, and she went back inside, and then they back to Courtney and hit a big three there. So, our players are not envious or jealous of each other. They share the basketball. They just want to win.
So when they're guarding the guards as tight as they were tonight, you need bigs to step up and pass. Career high in assists for Courtney Whitson, 7. How is she seeing the floor well in order to make that happen?
Well, she had 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 8 points. That's not too bad a game. 2 steals. So it's not too bad a game for Courtney. You sometimes you look in there and you say, well, Courtney only had 8 points. Okay, how many rebounds she have? How many assists does she have? And the same thing goes. You look down the track here. Gregory had 4 assists. What'd she have? She had 2 points. I doubt very seriously if there's many games here that she's had 2 points. And but she had 4 assists, and again she had to guard the best player they had. Have you noticed that girl was quick coming around those picks, and Jalen Gregory was just as quick as she was.
You guys outscored them 35-11 in the second half. What kind of adjustments as a unit did you guys make at halftime?
Well, we just needed to find some of our sets that would isolate Anastasia. If they were going to play us outside like they were playing, Anastasia and Yuya had to go to work. Well, Yuya didn't come to play for some reason today, and she got pretty much chewed out at halftime. But Anastasia came to play, and when Yuya set an illegal pick, then she walked, and then she set another illegal pick. You can't do that in 1 or 2 point games. You need those possessions, and so. When we went back with her, she was more in sync, but, of course, we had a lead then. But Anastasia she caught the ball, she finished, did a great job.
Past 2 games, y'all played really tight, through the early parts of the game and found a way to pull away late. What does that say about the team's mental toughness and preparation right now?
I think second time through, guys, teams are better. They're better, too. I don't know how much more we could have improved from the first time through. But most of the teams that we played had a lot of room to improve the second time through. So Jacksonville State has improved. They came in. If we look back at the stats down there, we outscored them the first quarter a bunch down there, and then we maintained it the rest of the game. So they came in. They had all week. This is the one thing. Now we're going into another team that's got all week. Westerns had all week to prepare for us. Jacksonville State had all week to prepare for us. So we know that going in. So when we go into a game, we got to see what's going to work, what we need to do. And at halftime, we were able to isolate Anastasia in that block area without her hooking somebody or getting in foul trouble. And then she went to work and did her job. I thought she got beat up in there a little bit too, I'll be honest with you. I thought early on in the first half, they were beating her up. Hey, guys, big win for the Lady Raiders. We appreciate you. Really do.
Anastasia, we just talked with Coach about how in the second half y'all were able to get in some sets to get you isolated. How are you able to sort of, execute in those situations and get the ball with some easy looks in the second half?
I adjusted the way I was supposed to in the beginning because they called a couple fouls on me, an offensive foul, so I just had to play more straight up and more, I would say, moving my feet more and just keep trying to steal now, so the height helps a lot for them to lob over them.
I was going to say, they come in, they don't have anybody taller than 6 feet. How do you prepare for that? Knowing you're obviously going up against practice players in practice that are just as tall as you sometimes. How do you prepare for going up against shorter bigs maybe?
Usually, most of the time when the shorter post players, they play in front of us and trying to front or half. So we're just doing a practice plan like that, and we have a lot of practice players, and the girls, it helps out. So we just work on it.
To me, you guys were able to outscore them 35-11 in the second half. What kind of defensive adjustments did you guys make at halftime?
Honestly, Nas was the key to this game. Like, getting her to the block, we did a lot of screens for her to get there. And once she kept getting to the block, it opened up a lot for our shooters to kick out when they doubled her. And even when they did double her, she still went up and scored because, they're a smaller team, so we had the advantage.
Back-to-back games where you guys have kind of started a little bit slow and then kind of pulled away at the end. How have you guys been able to do that, when you've played not so many close games all year?
Yeah, it was new to us, honestly, but we knew it would come eventually. We can't play every game perfect, but honestly, we just encourage each other. Like, when people aren't coming along with us, we just keep talking to them, and our coaches are really good doing that too, just telling us what we need to do and keeping us level-headed to continue.
To me, the coach talked a lot about how good Jacksonville State is at rebounding, how many good rebounders they have on the team. How did y'all focus up as a unit to make sure that y'all, beat them on the glass in the second half?
We just made sure to find a body, honestly. Like, every time the ball went up, we ran to the rim and tried to get it. And we're a little bit taller than them, so we couldn't kind of take that for granted. We still had to go put a body on somebody and instead of just jumping up because they're athletic.
Anastasia, you're going on the road to Western Kentucky, this weekend. How are y'all going to prepare over the next couple of days, for another big rivalry matchup?
For us, every game is a big game because it's the next one. So we're going to prepare as we always do. We use every day, every minute of the practice and every second. And just as always, same program, nothing changes. We don't treat team differently.
Here's the fun one. What's y'all's favorite Taylor Swift era?
I don't know what the era would be called, but like Bad Blood, that was like top tier. I sung that song I don't know what year that was, but that was it.
Yeah, I can say the eras, but I can say one song, The Bad Blood and Don't Blame Me. It's one of my top favorites.